Title: The Shadows of LAYTA. In the winter of 1977, the LAYTA Corporation teetered on the brink of collapse. Once a titan in the industry, its stock had plummeted by 34% since the disastrous fund allocation crisis of September 1975. The previous CEO's failures had drained the company's resources, forcing LAYTA to sell off 5 of its subsidiaries at prices far below their worth. The board of directors knew that the appointment of new leadership was their last hope. 3 names emerged from the haze of corporate politics: Alexander Mitchum, Hellenic Gracie, and Derek Curtis. All 3 were seasoned executives with reputations for turning around failing companies. But their appointment to the board wasn't just a matter of business acumen, it was a desperate gamble, a bid to reverse the corporation's fortunes before it sank under the weight of its own failures. The 3 arrived at LAYTA's headquarters on a cold December morning, greeted by a building that reflected the gloom of its financials. The walls were lined with portraits of past directors, their eyes seeming to follow the new arrivals as they walked through the dimly lit corridors. As they settled into their first board meeting, an eerie silence filled the room. It was as though the walls themselves were whispering secrets. The 3 newcomers felt it almost immediately, a sense of unease, of something lurking beneath the surface of the corporate structure. Over the next few weeks, strange things began to happen. Alexander Mitchum found documents on his desk that he had never seen before, detailing financial transactions that didn't add up. Hellenic Gracie heard whispers in the hallways late at night when no one else was supposed to be in the building. And Derek Curtis had dreams, vivid, haunting dreams, of faceless figures standing in the shadows, watching him. The more they delved into the company's past, the more they realized that the fund allocation crisis was only a symptom of a deeper problem. There were gaps in the financial records, missing files, and a trail of inexplicable deaths among former executives. One night, as a winter storm raged outside, the 3 gathered in the boardroom for an emergency meeting. They had each received a message, written in a shaky hand, summoning them to discuss the truth behind LAYTA. The note was unsigned. As they sat around the large mahogany table, the lights flickered. The temperature in the room dropped suddenly, and a thick fog began to seep in under the door. Out of the fog emerged the ghostly figure of a man, his eyes hollow, his face twisted in a mask of despair. It was the former CEO, the one who had overseen the fund allocation crisis. He pointed a bony finger at the 3 and spoke in a voice that sent chills down their spines. "The corporation was built on lies," he whispered. "We sold more than just subsidiaries, we sold our souls. The crisis was no accident, it was the price of a deal made in desperation. Now, you are bound to the same fate. Leave this place, or be consumed by the shadows of LAYTA." The apparition vanished as suddenly as it had appeared, leaving the 3 in stunned silence. The fog dissipated, and the lights returned to their normal glow. But the cold lingered, as did the sense of dread. The next morning, all 3 resigned from their positions, citing personal reasons. They left the corporation behind, but the experience haunted them for the rest of their lives. LAYTA Corporation continued to struggle, never quite recovering from the damage. It became a cautionary tale in business schools, but few knew the full story. For those who did, the name LAYTA was a reminder that some deals come at too high a price, and some shadows are too deep to escape.